Hey guys, it's Ash here. I hope you're doing great and welcome to today's video. Before we get started though, I know what you're thinking. I've had a haircut. Yes. It looks friggin' sick, doesn't it? Okay, so in this video we're going to be talking about how to lean bulk. It is so important because nowhere near enough people do it, and it is kind of becoming a buzzword on social media, but I feel like people still don't kind of understand what it means. Lean bulking is not gaining muscle just infinitely and never getting fat. Okay, so what is lean bulking? Lean bulking is where you are building muscle faster or equal to the rate that you are building fat as you are eating in a calorie surplus. The reason for doing this is that you will be able to bulk and gain body fat for a long period of time while staying visibly lean, because the rate of muscle growth is equal or more than the rate of body fat gain. So as your muscle definition builds up, so does the body fat, so you maintain where you are at. So from the start of the bulk to the end of the bulk, you won't be miles and miles apart. You won't be, in old times, bodybuilder, you won't be a bodybuilder on stage to a bodybuilder, getting shot for this sick editing, right? You won't be a bodybuilder on stage to a bodybuilder in the off season. No, you'll be, well, I'll show you myself at the beginning and end of a lean bulk. They're not too far apart. I'm a little bit fluffier and we'll get into that later. But this is essentially what lean bulking is. You are eating slightly more calories per day than you are burning. Only a little bit, because the more calories you're eating, that's not the more calories that goes into your muscle. If 100 calories a day of your surplus will go into muscle, that is all that will go into your muscle, regardless of whether you eat 100 calories more a day or 3,000 calories more a day. It does not matter, and all those extra calories are going to build up and going into fat. We don't want to get fatter in this process. We want to stay equally lean whilst building muscle, and lean bulking is the best way to do it. So let's get into the first step on how to lean bulk. Okay, so step one of how to lean bulk is to find your maintenance calories. You may already know this. In that case, you can get on over to step two, but a lot of people don't know where they are. So this is how I get my clients and myself to find my maintenance calories. What I want you to do is, I want you to start tracking your food for 1 week. Don't change your food. Just carry on eating as you normally would, but write that down and put it in MyFitnessPal. This will give you a good idea of how many calories you are consuming on a daily basis. Then I want you to add those numbers together, divide them by 7 and get a daily average. Now you have the average calories you're consuming. During this period, I want you to weigh yourself every morning at the same time in the same clothing or lack of clothing. And again, add those weight values together, divide them by 7 to find your average. If throughout that week your average has stayed the same from the week before, that your starting weight, then you are already at your maintenance calories, bingo. You probably won't be. So if your weight has gone up, then that means you are eating above your maintenance calories, and if your weight has gone down, that means you are eating below your maintenance calories. Let's say you have gained a little bit of weight and you average 2,400 calories a day. Okay, for the next week, track your food, but make sure you hit each day 2,300 calories. Again, weigh yourself every day, add them up, divide them by 7, find your average, and if you have then stayed the same weight, do it for another week. If after 2 weeks you are still the same weight, bingo, that is your maintenance calories. And it is a bit of an annoying process, but just keep going and you will eventually chop and change 50 calories, 100 calories either way, and you will find where you are. So that is step one. Okay, so step two of lean bulking is to calculate the calories that you should be eating to begin your lean bulk and where your macros should be. Let's start with the calories. With the calories, I would recommend adding 100 calories to your maintenance calories. It's not a lot, it's like a quarter of a bowl of cereal. But you know, we're not doing this to get as much food as possible. We're doing this to get the gains, mate. So add on 100 calories. Do that for a week or so. After a week or two, add on 50 calories. Then another 2 weeks, a week or two, you can add on another 50 calories, and it goes up like this. The reason we need to add on each week is because as we build more muscle, as we get stronger, and as our body adapts to the extra food, our metabolism will regulate to what we are taking in and will go up as well. So eventually that 100 calorie surplus which we started in will be our new maintenance. This is awesome because it means we can eat more food, and it is a sign that we are building muscle, so that is a great start. As for macros, there's a baseline which I want you to hit, and apart from that it kind of comes down to personal preference and how your body responds. But protein is very important. Find your body weight in pounds. So if you're 160 pounds, there we go. That I want you to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, unless you're very overweight. If you're 300 pounds obese, do not do this. Do a gram of protein per pound of lean body mass, not overall body weight. But if you are just a fit, healthy adult, I want you to have a gram per pound of body weight, of protein, sorry. Okay, so with your fats, again, you can go for a higher fat diet, but I would not go below 20 to 25% of your calorie intake as fat. Generally, this will fall between 50 grams to around 90 grams of fat per person. Obviously, it will depend where your intake is, but if you are hitting in that 50 to 90 gram of healthy fats, not bad fats. I see you eating your Pop-Tarts, you pervert. That will be enough to help regulate your hormones, keep you feeling happy, stop you being a moody bastard, and from there you can fill the rest with carbs. That's what most people tend to do. Of course, you want to be getting the majority of that from complex carbs such as rice, potatoes, oats, all that kind of good stuff. But if you want to have some cereal here and there, it's not going to be too detrimental, especially when you are lean bulking. Okay, step 3 is your training. You need to be training for strength. If you're just lifting low weights over and over and over and over and over again, you're getting a sick pump, yeah. But you need to be progressively overloading and developing your strength, because that will really scream to your muscles that you need to build more muscle. What happens if you eat in a slight calorie surplus, so that 100 calories more than your maintenance? What happens if you do that without lifting weights? You're slowly getting fat. You're not lean bulking just because you're eating slightly over, not a lot over. To be lean bulking and actually be building muscle, you have to lift weights and get stronger. So, how to do this? You need to be following a program that is tailored to you. You can do this, or you can buy a program from someone who knows what they're doing. And you need to be focusing on compound movements to build more strength. Obviously, I'm not saying you can't do some bicep curls for the girls every now and then, or, you know, some tricep extensions for the mansions. I don't know. But you just lift heavy with good form and the muscle will come. If your strength is going up and you're eating in a surplus and you're doing everything right, you will be lean bulking. Step 4 is how to know when to add on calories to what you're eating and what to put into those calories. So as I mentioned earlier, as you go on with your lean bulk, your metabolism will be regulating to your intake because it will get used to what you're feeding it every single day. If every single day you're giving yourself 2,600 calories, eventually your body is going to become used to 2,600 calories. And be like, come on, Ash, let's mix things up. Let's ramp this bitch up and go to 2,700. Yeah, let's eat more cereal. Half a bowl, boy. So, to know when to do this, throughout this whole period, get used to it. You're going to be weighing yourself every day. Weigh yourself every morning with lack of or the same clothes. Add to them up. Add to the daily weights up at the end of the week. Divide them by 7 to get your average weigh in, and then write down that average weigh in. Have a log of week 1, week 2, week 3. If you notice that your weight has stayed the same, not for 1 week, but 1 week, for 2 weeks, or gone down for 2 weeks, then that means you need to increase your intake. Increase it by 50 calories minimum, 150 max, in my opinion. If your weight has gone down relatively drastically, let's get that bitch up, have 150 calories more. So 2,700 calories would become 2,850 a day. If it's just stayed the same, add on 50. If you want to be conservative, you want to stay nice and lean whilst building a bit of muscle, add on 100 if you are willing to push it a little bit more. I would personally go 50 just because I like to do nice, slow, long ass lean bulks. So what should those extra calories be? Well, if you're already hitting your gram of protein per pound of body weight, you do not need more protein. It will not build more muscle. It will have no benefit to you other than filling you up more. If you are still finding yourself hungry, this is great. So if you're lean bulking and still feeling hungry, add in those calories as protein. If you are struggling to eat, do not add them as protein. If you like fatty foods such as red meat, like sausages, beef mince, eggs, that kind of thing, then you can add it as extra fats. That is fine. It will probably benefit you in terms of hormone regulation and feeling satisfied and enjoying your diet. If you are a carb-loving freak like me, cereal bitch, then add them as carbs. It's fine. Just add on some rice, add on some extra oats into your bowl, big thick bowl of oats, and you'll be okay. The last and final step is, how long should you lean bulk for? This is a hard one to answer because it's really up to you. However, please do not go into a lean bulk phase for a massive 2 weeks. Because you know what that's going to do? It's going to do nothing. I've heard it so many times before. Oh, I'm on a lean bulk. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, they're cutting down again. No, man up. Pack on some pounds. I would give a minimum of a lean bulk as 8 weeks. Just putting it out there. My latest lean bulk was 10 months long. 10 months. In that 10 months, I had abs at the beginning, I had abs at the end because I lean bulked correctly. I gained muscle and fat at the same time. Yes, I was fluffier by the end, I wasn't so defined, but because my muscle mass had gone out as well, I still managed to maintain some definition before cutting down again. So basically the answer to this is you want to lean bulk for as long as you comfortably can. If you get to the start, if you start looking in the mirror and feeling not very happy with how you look, or you feel sluggish, you know, you're starting to get into those higher body fat percentages, your abs might be fading, or you might be losing some striations in the shoulders on those lateral raises, you know, and you just don't feel happy, okay, it's time to come out, have a 4-6 week mini cut, and then get started back into it, just as you were before. There's nothing wrong with that. but you want to be spending, the bottom line is you need to be in a lean bulking phase more often in the year than you are cutting. If you're cutting for 9 months a year and bulking for 3 months, how can you expect your muscle to go up over time while staying lean? All you're going to be doing is building muscle for 3 months and then eating away at that muscle for the next 3/4 of a year. So you want to be lean bulking for at least 6.5, 7 months of the year, but I would really, really recommend 9 to 10 months of the year being in a slow, steady lean bulk phase. You can split this up with 2-3 week mini cuts in the middle. That is completely fine. That's what I do. But lean bulk for as long as possible. I know some people like to set a body fat limit. So they'll start at, let's say, 11-12% body fat, and they'll say, okay, I'm going to slowly lean bulk until I reach 18% body fat. I think Jeff Nippard did this recently, and he seemed to work well for him. So, you know, and he's jacked. So, but that is because you will feel comfortable at a certain percentage of body fat, and you will know this if you've been lifting for a while and tracking your weights and everything. So you can do that, but personally I just like to go for feel and just do it for as long as possible while still being happy with the physique that I have. Okay, so that is the end of this little guide on how to lean bulk. This is a bit of a condensed version, although I still spoke way too much probably, of an article that I've got up on my website. It is a 4,500 word article on the details of how to lean bulk, and I will go into it probably a lot better I did than this because I had time to think about what I was actually saying. So that is going to be linked in the description. I also put it into an ebook format, so you can go ahead and download the ebook if you want to take that on the go with you. But yeah, I need to go to the gym and do some deadlifts, so leave me alone. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button so I know that you like this more informative content. Please subscribe to see what's coming. I've got some juicy stuff coming soon, so I can't wait to do this next video, and I hope you're watching it with me. See you later.